This morning, Prince Harry back home in the UK as the royals open up like never before. Personal last memories of Prince Philip. First pictures as Cyclone Seroja slams the WA coast. And more confusion, Australia's vaccine timetable thrown out the window.
This is 7 News with Ann Sanders.
Good morning. Prince Harry has arrived home in London on home soil for the first time in a year and reuniting with his family for the funeral of his beloved grandfather, Prince Philip. With the Queen in 2 weeks of official mourning, her children, including the rarely seen Prince Andrew, have spoken candidly about their father, his legacy and his final moments.
The Duke of Edinburgh's two youngest sons attended the service in a private chapel in the grounds of the Windsor estate. Prince Edward spoke about the shock of his father's loss. Prince Andrew described how the Queen is saying that she now has a huge void in her life, while the Countess of Wessex told how the Duke slipped away. A family united in grief. Prince Andrew and Prince Edward speak candidly on the loss of their father, Prince Philip, at a service outside the Royal Chapel of All Saints.
I think the way I would put it is that we've lost almost the grandfather of the nation.
However much one tries to prepare oneself for something like this, it's still a dreadful shock.
Edward's wife, Sophie, gave an insight into the Duke of Edinburgh's final moments.
It was right for him.
Probably people wear masks if they want to.
It was so gentle. It's just like somebody took him by the hand. Very, very peaceful. And that's all you want, somebody to do.
Prince Andrew describing his mother as an incredibly stoic person, contemplating the loss of her husband of 73 years.
She described it as having left a huge void in her life.
The same sentiment felt by Princess Anne, who released this touching photo saying, "My father has been my teacher, my support and my critic, but mostly it is his example of a life well lived and service freely given that I most wanted to emulate."
He was a remarkable man. I loved him as a father.
It is some remarkable insight into the private grief of this often very public family. It is also interesting that we're hearing from Prince Andrew, considering the amount of controversy that surrounds his life these days. And he did speak about how he used to go to his father often, and he appreciated the fact that the Duke would listen, and he's going to miss that.
He slipped into the UK unseen, but Prince Harry is back on home soil tonight in quarantine ahead of this weekend's funeral service. With Meghan advised to stay in the US, her husband will confront the family rift alone.
Well, this is the first time that Prince Harry has been in the UK in more than a year. He last saw his family face to face at the Commonwealth Day service at Westminster Abbey in March 2020. It's the first time he's been here since Megxit, the first time since that explosive Oprah interview full of harmful accusations about the royal family. The Sun newspaper is reporting that he touched down in the UK at around 1 p.m. on Sunday on a British Airways flight from LA into London. He was apparently met on the tarmac by security guards who whisked him away in a Range Rover. We understand he was taken to Kensington Palace and could be carrying out his self-isolation in Nottingham Cottage. That is where Harry and Meghan lived together before they were married. As for the Duchess of Sussex, she remains in the United States. Her doctors advised her not to travel. She is pregnant with the couple's second child, a little girl due in the summer. Today here in the UK, however, it was the relationship between Prince Harry and William that was making headlines yet again. Former British Prime Minister Sir John Major, who was actually appointed as a special advisor for the brothers following the death of Princess Diana, he said that this moment, this time of immense grief, it is the right time for these brothers to mend their relationship.
The friction that we are told has arisen is a friction better ended as speedily as possible, and a shared emotion, a shared grief at the present time because of the death of their father, of their grandfather, I think is an ideal opportunity. I hope very much that it is possible to mend any rifts that may exist.
So this Saturday at the Duke of Edinburgh's funeral, Prince Harry will walk behind Prince Philip's coffin alongside his father Charles and his brother William. No doubt eyes right around the world will be on that moment. Harry will not be wearing his military uniform, having been stripped of all of his honorary titles as part of the Megxit process, and we're certainly not expecting to see him in public until Saturday. He now has to do at least 5 days self-isolation in accordance with Britain's current COVID rules.
Thank you, Sarah. The Prime Minister is now refusing to set a timeline on when Australians will receive their first COVID vaccination. For more, let's cross live to political reporter Rob Scott in Canberra. Rob, the original schedule has been thrown out the window.
Yes, it has, and the Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, says there are too many uncertainties to make any more promises, abandoning the original October timeline, instead choosing to be deliberately vague, now saying the goal is to have everyone vaccinated as soon as possible, a position he was forced to clarify after Tourism Minister Dan Tehan suggested a new target to immunise all Australians by the end of the year had been introduced. The PM conceding for the first time that's unlikely, posting on his Facebook page, while we would like to see these doses completed before the end of the year, it is not possible to set such targets given the many uncertainties involved.
So it's not as if we're not rolling it out, but I acknowledge it's not rolled out. It's not rolled out at the speed we initially anticipated, nor did people initially anticipate the problems we're going to have with the AstraZeneca vaccine.
Our plan remains to give the vaccine to as many people in Australia as possible, as quickly as possible.
That comes as a new report from the McKell Institute warns vaccine delays will increase the chance of more lockdowns and could cost the economy upwards of $1.4 billion, even under the most optimistic of scenarios. Anne?
Rob Scott live in Canberra. Thank you, Rob. A third hotel quarantine worker has tested positive in New Zealand. It's believed the person is a close contact of the security guard who was the first case at the Grand Millennium Hotel. Prime Minister Ardern facing new questions after it was revealed this latest case may not have been vaccinated.
The expectation is that there will be no one who is not vaccinated working on the front line by the beginning of May.
The Trans-Tasman bubble opening travel between Australia and New Zealand begins next week. We have new pictures out of WA this morning after Cyclone Seroja slammed into the coast as a Category 3 storm. This from our drone in Kalbarri on the state's mid-west coast, where the damage there is extraordinary. We'll show you those pictures now. Let's go also to reporter Ben Downey on the ground. Ben, Seroja's now a tropical storm, but it hit with incredible force.
That's right, and now it is a tropical storm, but it's cold comfort for the residents of Kalbarri that really felt it the worst when it landed here at 9 p.m. last night as a Category 3. Just take a look at the damage we've got here. This is the whole town, really. It's just a mess of corroded iron, shards of metal, trees that have come down, power lines as well. Look at these homes. The roofs have been ripped off these. People were sheltering inside last night when it hit. Can you imagine sitting inside that when 174 kilometre an hour gales come to you? That's what residents were forced to endure. But the true picture of the damage, like you said, is the news drone. Take a look at these pictures from the sky. It's home after home, power lines down, roofs ripped off. People were forced to evacuate from some homes. Some chose to stay and had a very wet and wild evening. One person has died after touching a live power pole. Thankfully, it looks like no more people have died so far overnight. We're only going to get a true picture of the damage, though, once SES come in this afternoon. They're only beginning reconnaissance now. There's no chance of telling when they might actually begin to start fixing some of these homes. It's just going to be a very long time ahead for the tourist town of Kalbarri.
And Ben, just very briefly, how was it for you living through that cyclone last night?
We were actually one of the people that probably had it the best. We're right on the coast. It was almost like a case of divine intervention. We were fine. We were able to do our news crosses, but take a look, 1 metre left or 1 metre right, and the roofs had gone flooded. We'd had bits of debris from other homes falling through us. It was very shaky, but thankfully we're okay.
Oh, that's good to see, and very lucky indeed. Ben, thank you very much for updating us. It's been a deadly 24 hours on New South Wales roads. A motorbike rider has died in a crash at Palm Beach, and in Petersham, a pedestrian in his 50s was killed after being hit by a car. Another pedestrian is critical after a crash on the Hume Highway in Yagoona. Dramatic vision has emerged to the Spirit of Tasmania, making its way through Melbourne's Port Phillip Heads in what was an extremely rough trip. The passenger ship was hit by giant waves as it pushed towards the Victorian capital. Other ships were put on hold until midday as pilots assessed the dangerous conditions. But the Spirit of Tasmania ploughed on. Coming up next in 7 News, pepper sprayed and dragged from his car, a military officer sues police. The pictures of his confronting arrest are ahead. And 18 stories up, the high-rise rescue to save a stranded local.
The most spectacular dancing is still to come. Tonight, champions Ada, Luke and Manu hit the dance floor.
I want to make my son proud.
5, 4, 6, 7.
5, 4, 6, 7.
And for the first time, it's a dead heat.
We have a three-way tie.
This has never happened. Don't miss a moment of Dancing with the Stars All-Stars. Tonight, 7:30 on 7.
How to get the lounge room done so fast? With Nimble. Not Nibble, Rodney. Nimble. Nimble puts me in control of my money. And quickly. So when you chewed through the wiring, I was ready. And I had options, Rodney, because Nimble has a solution for every man and his rabbit. So we can all achieve financial freedom sooner. Fast and simple. That's Nimble.
Congratulations. When are you,
Excuse me?
we were... He's...
Kidding. It's just the savings I pocketed getting my health insurance from HBF.
See if you can pocket the savings with HBF. Join today.
Aldi's low prices just got lower, with reductions on a huge range of products like cheese, bacon, pasta, eggs, this, that, those, that... No, not that. Aldi, good, different.
Hit refresh! Hit refresh! Hit refresh!
Boost your mind and body. Grab an Aussie apple and hit refresh.
Sometimes, even the best tenants can cause damage to your investment property that standard building insurance may not cover. Terry Shear, Australia's leading landlord insurance specialist, provides the cover you need for your property and rental income. Have confidence that your investment property is in safe hands.
As a first-time investor, Terry Shear provides the security I need.
Call Terry Shear or go online.
What makes Nature's Way adult Vita gummies seriously good? Is it because they support daily health and well-being? Or they're a great alternative to swallowing tablets? Or simply the delicious flavour? Choose Nature's Way adult Vita gummies. They're seriously good.
Pandora. Something about you.
Sydney detectives are back at a Belmore service station this morning, robbed for the second time in a week in eerily similar circumstances. Police not yet clear if it's the same man seen on video last Thursday or a copycat. Natasha Squarey has the details.
Well, Anne, this service station here in Belmore has been targeted twice in the past 4 days, and detectives are investigating the possibility last night's armed robbery was a copycat attack. Around 9:30 p.m, a man entered the small business armed with a knife. He ordered the staff member behind the counter and demanded cash. The 30-year-old victim did what he was told and dropped to his knees while the suspect filled a plastic bag with $1,500 in cash, as well as cigarettes.
The behaviour is uncalled for, and the police take all incidents of violence very seriously.
On Thursday night, another worker endured an almost identical robbery. He too was held up at gunpoint as that thief emptied the cash register before fleeing with around the same amount of cash and cigarettes. That worker, a 41-year-old, was extremely shaken. This happened on just his third shift.
We're keeping an open mind. The investigation is well underway. It may be the same offender, it may be a copycat. But we're asking for the public's help to identify these offenders so we can arrest them.
Campsie police have now beefed up patrols around the area as they continue to hunt for one or possibly two armed robbers.
A US Army officer is suing two policemen who held him at gunpoint, then pepper sprayed him during a confronting arrest. The officer, in uniform at the time, was pulled over for a licence plate query and claims he's the victim of excessive force.
A routine police traffic stop.
Driver, roll the window down!
At least it should have been.
Get out of the car!
A second lieutenant in the US Army, Caron Nazario, pulled over last December, police suspecting his vehicle was unregistered.
The occupants are in your vehicle!
It's only myself. Why are your weapons drawn? What's going on?
Open the door slowly and step out!
Nazario's phone and police body cam record how the exchange turns hostile.
For a traffic violation, I do not have to get out the vehicle. You haven't even told me why I'm being stopped. Hold on. Watch it.
Police using pepper spray and insisting his refusal to leave his car justified their weapons-drawn approach.
I don't even want to reach my seatbelt.
Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car! Get out of the car now!
The officer's conduct was not only reprehensible but illegal.
Nazario is now suing the officers.
I've seen black men get killed just for stepping out of their car.
And this man has reported a similar case from just last week. Mistaken by police for someone else, weapons drawn, he was too fearful to get out of his car.
I stayed looking at focusing the front of my car because I didn't want none of their faces to be the last thing I saw.
The terror heightened as George Floyd's killing unfolds daily in court and on American TV. The prosecution is now wrapping up its case that Derek Chauvin's knee-to-the-neck arrest amounted to murder. In the United States, Tim Lester, 7 News.
Sydney fire crews have staged a high-rise rescue, abseiling a building to save a very stranded cat. The feline found itself stuck on an external ledge 18 stories up. But despite very windy conditions out there, a firefighter was able to grab Abito the cat and put him safely in a bag. After a pretty dramatic rescue, Abito was returned to a humbled but happy owner. Time for a look now at the financial markets, and the ASX 200 has slipped on opening this morning, down more than 20 points. The Australian dollar is buying just over 76 US cents, 83 Japanese yen and $1.08 New Zealand. Coming up next in 7 News, we'll have sport with Jackie Felgate, including Fremantle back to their winning ways, the Dragons revitalised under their new coach. Also, history made at the Masters as Japan discovers a new national icon.
Sydney's hallowed halls of university cheats. The major investigation uncovering the damning evidence on 7 News, 6 o'clock.
A little goes a long way at Macca's. Grab a hamburger for $2. And for a limited time, a McFlurry for just $2. Part of our best ever loose change menu.
The Mazda Unmissable sale is on. If you're looking for the perfect vehicle at the perfect price, then don't miss this. Take home Mazda CX-9 Sport from just $46,990 drive away. But hurry or you'll miss out.
Light and Easy partners with home care package providers so older Australians can have affordable access to healthy, delicious meals. In fact, home care package recipients could even save 70% off the cost of their meals. Light and Easy even offers a new range of meals designed specifically for older Australians.
And because Light and Easy is subsidised by home care package, it makes it very affordable.
For more information about our award-winning healthy meal delivery service, call us on 13 15 12.
Go from this to this in quick and easy steps at home. Be your own colour specialist. The special formula protects my hair throughout the colouring process and covers up those pesky greys. I love the way my hair feels now. Schwarzkopf.
If one thing's for sure in life, it's that accidents will happen.
And when they do, and they will, it pays to have GIO Platinum Home and Contents Insurance that includes accidental damage cover. So when life accidentally happens to you and your newly laid floor, you'll be glad you've got it covered with GIO. Call 13 10 10 today or visit gio.com.au.
Climb a tower and be a princess and get shot at with arrows, wizards throwing spell packets. It's an amazing feeling. It's euphoric.
There are so many ways we can live better. Search Medibank Live Better to find yours.
At Spotlight, a home is what you make it. Save 30 to 60% off all ready-to-hang indoor blinds, 30 to 60% off all ready-to-hang curtains, 40% off made-to-measure shutters. So decorate it, celebrate it and create it for less. Sale must end tomorrow. At Spotlight, it's what you make it.
Good morning. Fremantle have bounced back from last week's heavy loss to Carlton, beating Hawthorn by 15 points. The Dockers got the jump on the Hawks at Optus Stadium, kicking the first 5 goals of the game to lead by 34 points at quarter time. Hawthorn fought back to within 5 points but couldn't take the lead. On his return from concussion, Nat Fyfe was wildly inaccurate in front of goal, kicking 6 behinds.
I think it's going to be one of those things that just clicks for him. I really do. And once he gets one away, he'll be right.
Fremantle are 9th on the ladder, Hawthorn 17th. St George Illawarra's resurgence under Anthony Griffin continues. Matt Duffy was awarded the first penalty try of the season as the Dragons burst out of the blocks against the Eels at Bankwest Stadium, taking an 18-0 lead into the break. They went on to win 26-12, ending Parramatta's unbeaten start to the season.
I don't think we're doing anything special. We're doing what we need to do if we want to be a good football side.
The Dragons are now 4th on the NRL ladder after their 4th straight win. Hideki Matsuyama has made history at the Masters, becoming the first ever male Japanese golfer to win a major. Heading into the final day with a 4-shot lead, Matsuyama's gap dwindled on the back 9 to the concern of Japanese commentators. 24-year-old Will Zalatoris put up the biggest fight, finishing 9 under on his Masters debut, but he couldn't catch Matsuyama, who finished 1 shot ahead of the young American to win the fabled green jacket. The victory is likely to make him the face of Japan's Olympic team in Tokyo. Mark Leishman was the best of the Aussies. He finished tied for 5th at 6 under and came agonisingly close to hitting a hole-in-one on the 16th. Oh. Wellington Phoenix have kept their A-League finals hopes alive with a last-minute win over Western United. Momentum swung throughout the match, but with seconds to go, it all came down to 19-year-old Ben Way.
It's Ben Way this time, who scores potentially the winner for Wellington Phoenix.
Oh, VAR confirmed the goal, giving the Phoenix a vital 3-2 win. Manchester United are within 11 points of Premier League leaders Man City after coming from a goal down to beat Tottenham 3-1.
Here's Cavani! Manchester United have the lead! He thrust himself in like he meant it. They've turned another one round.
The loss leaves Spurs 6 points outside the top 4. West Ham jumped above Chelsea and Liverpool into 4th after beating Leicester 3-2. Arsenal defeated last-placed Sheffield United 3-0. And Anne, that wraps up Monday Sport.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Coming up next in 7's Morning News, your first look at Sydney's now completed Barangaroo Walk. Plus, there's a lot going on in today's weather. Meteorologist Tony Auden has your forecast coming up.
Meet the doctor with the gentle touch.
Wake up.
Who has lots of patience and very little patience.
You hear about this? You never think it's going to happen to you.
It's head lice, woman. Next patient.
Doc Martin, tonight on 7-2.
OK, team, we're doing something new.
Supervise.
That's right. A selected range of interesting products you might not expect from us.
Oh, like dog costumes and stuff?
Not quite.
Check out this splash-proof speaker for $29.99 or this headrest DVD player for $129.99.
Robotic arms?
Supervise. On sale this Thursday while stocks last.
At The Good Guys, get it now with Latitude interest-free. Claim up to $150, pay less payback when you spend $1,000 or more on Latitude interest-free. Plus, bonus delivery on a range of cooking and dishwashers. Only at The Good Guys.
For the mum who's your rock, the woman who knows every little piece of you from your head to your toes, give a Mother's Day gift that says clear and true, everywhere and always, Mum, we love you. Michael Hill, Wear for Love.
I am here to show you all how to Ladbroke it. Let's Ladbroke the action! Let's Ladbroke the riders. Let's Ladbroke the...
A snack pack with flavour that stacks of fun? Funny you should ask, I know just the one. Cracker Packer Primo Stackers. A real full snack of meat, cheese, crackers. You're just a regular snacker till you get the fun and taste of Primo Stackers. Mmm.
The Pollies can't help themselves. My super doesn't work out for me. I'll be working forever.
Well, we've worked all our lives for this place. We'd hate to have to sell it to fund our retirement.
That's for sure.
Authorised by B. Dean for Industry Super Australia, Melbourne.
Is that your dog?
It's the neighbour's dog. Will my insurance cover this?
Budget Direct would have provided you with temporary accommodation for up to a year while they repaired it.
Budget Direct. Insurance solved.
New from Nivea. Naturally good face care. Up to 99% naturally derived ingredients, plus 1% for stability and safety. For hydrated and naturally radiant skin. 100% transparency for 100% trust.
The final piece in the scenic Sydney Walk is open today. The Barangaroo Foreshore Walk is now complete. 11 kilometres of those beautiful views from Woolloomooloo to the Anzac Bridge. The tree-lined walk is 15 metres wide, including room for cyclists. Let's go to 7 meteorologist Tony Auden now. Good morning, Tony. What's the situation right now with ex-cyclone Seroja?
Well, good morning, Anne. Well, after a wild night, thankfully Seroja has now weakened below cyclone strength and is now starting to push off the southern WA coast and out into the Bight. Here's what it looked like. The then severe tropical cyclone hitting the coast around Kalbarri, north of Geraldton, as a severe Category 3 system late yesterday. It has then weakened rapidly over land while pushing down towards the southeast, bringing a band of heavy rain and more strong winds. Now that low is near Esperance and should push out into the Bight soon. But, well, water is too cold for it to redevelop into a tropical cyclone. It's also merging with a cold front. Having said that, severe weather warning is still current for the southern WA coast from around Esperance towards Ayr. Heavy rain is easing. Damaging winds are the main threat now. And those winds are also pushing fire dangers up to severe or extreme values right across the region. Now, onto the national forecast. Rain has mostly eased around Perth, but cool air remains across southeastern states. A mostly sunny 22 in Adelaide. The odd shower around Melbourne and Hobart, but they are easing back. Tops of 17 and 16 there. Sunshine on the east coast, 21 in Sydney, at cool 24 in Brisbane. Tomorrow, that cold front slips across the Bight with high pressure remaining along the east coast. So apart from a possible late shower in Adelaide, it dries up and warms up across the southeast. 20 and 19 degrees respectively in Melbourne and Hobart. A beautiful sunny day in Sydney, 24 degrees, and Brisbane stays below average on 25. That's the latest weather round. It's starting to settle down. More in the news at 4 and 6.
All right, Tony, thank you very much. And that is 7 News to now. We'll keep you up to date throughout the day. Our next major bulletin is at 4 p.m. I'm Ann Sanders. Thanks for your company. Have a lovely day.